Look at this animal lifespan chart for 5 seconds and your brain does something very human. It starts looking for the setting. Mouse, a few years. Dog, maybe a decade or two. Human, if everything goes suspiciously well, more than a century. Bowhead whale, over 200 years. Greenland shark, one large female was estimated at around 392 years old, give or take more than a century, because apparently some animals submit their paperwork in geological time. So the obvious question is, why? Why does one warm little mammal speed-run life, while another animal is still basically reading the tutorial at age 100? The simple answer sounds neat. Bigger animals live longer. Slower animals live longer. Maybe every animal gets a fixed number of heartbeats, and the tiny ones just spend theirs like a person with no savings account. That answer is satisfying. It is also wrong in the exact way satisfying answers like to be wrong. Because body size matters, but bats are tiny and can live weirdly long. Metabolism matters, but birds and bats have high-energy bodies and still make the chart uncomfortable. Being slow matters sometimes, but a slow animal with no protection is still just a leisurely snack. The real answer is not one dial. It is a maintenance budget. Evolution is not trying to build every body to last as long as possible. Natural selection does not sit down and say, let us give this mouse a tasteful 200-year warranty. Repair costs energy. Better DNA repair costs energy. Immune defense costs energy. Cancer suppression costs energy. Protein cleanup, cell replacement, tissue maintenance, all of it costs something. And if an animal is very likely to be eaten, frozen, infected, crushed, or otherwise removed from the story before old age, then spending heavily on century-scale maintenance may not pay back. That sounds rude, because it is. Nature is not a wellness coach. Nature is an accountant holding a red pen. So a fast, vulnerable animal often follows a fast life plan. Grow quickly, reproduce early, put energy into the next generation now because later is a risky investment. This is why the lifespan question is really two questions at once. First, how fast is the animal's life? Second, how worth it is long-term repair? Small mammals often grow fast, burn energy fast, reproduce fast, and die young compared with larger mammals. That pattern is real, but it is only the floor of the explanation. The fun part begins when animals cheat the floor. Take bats. A bat is basically a tiny mammal that looked at the normal small mammal lifespan chart and said, no thank you, I have wings. Flight changes the risk equation. If you can leave the ground, avoid many predators, roost in hard-to-reach places, and sometimes use torpor to lower your energy demands, then future years become more valuable. You are not guaranteed to survive. Nothing is. But you have made death work harder. And when death has to work harder, selection can start rewarding slower reproduction and better maintenance. This is one reason bats are such annoying exceptions to the simple body size rule. They are small, but many of them live much longer than a mouse-sized mammal is supposed to. Then there are turtles and tortoises. A shell is not a magic anti-aging device. Please do not try to become a turtle by buying a weighted blanket and refusing emails. But a protective body plan changes the outside risk problem. If fewer things can easily kill you, it can become worthwhile to grow slowly, reproduce later, and maintain the body longer. Some turtles and related cold-blooded animals show extremely slow aging patterns in demographic studies. Not all of them. Not every reptile gets a free eternity coupon. But the pattern tells us something important. Long life often begins with not being easy to delete. The naked mole rat is the same joke in a different font. It is a small rodent. By the usual rodent rules, it should not be giving lifespan advice to anyone. But naked mole rats live underground in protected colonies, and in captivity, they can live over 30 years. One major study found that their mortality rate did not rise with age in the usual mammal-shaped way. That does not mean they are immortal. It means the normal rodent aging chart looked at them and quietly left the room. Again, the point is not one miracle gene. The point is a whole life strategy. A protected tunnel world changes risk. A social colony changes survival. A strange metabolism changes stress. And the body has to come with maintenance systems that can keep up. Now go even slower. Deep, cold water. Low temperatures. Slow growth. A predator that does not have to live like it is late for a meeting. That is where the Greenland shark becomes ridiculous. Scientists estimated the age of Greenland sharks using radiocarbon in the eye lens, and one large female came out around 392 years old, with a very wide uncertainty range. The uncertainty matters. This is not a birthday cake with 392 candles and a shark politely confirming the guest list. But even with the caution, Greenland sharks are a strong example of an extremely slow life history. One estimate put sexual maturity around 156 years. Imagine being a teenager for a century and a half. Actually, do not imagine that. We have all suffered enough. So now we have part of the answer. If life is dangerous and fast, the budget shifts toward early reproduction. If life is safer and slower, the budget can shift toward long-term repair. But that still leaves one more problem. A long-lived body is not just an animal that avoided predators. It is a giant pile of cells that has to keep not failing. Every day, cells copy DNA. Proteins fold and misfold. Molecules get damaged. Cells divide, stop dividing, clean up, signal, repair, or sometimes do the very rude thing and become cancerous. If you are small and short-lived, your body needs maintenance, but it does not need to keep a massive system stable for 200 years. If you are a whale, an elephant, or another large, long-lived animal, the problem becomes absurd. You have more cells. More cells mean more chances for something to go wrong. And yet elephants do not simply turn into walking cancer factories, which is very kind of them. This is the famous problem called Peto's paradox. Large animals should have more cancer risk if you only count cells and time, but real animals have evolved defenses. Elephants, for example, have multiple extra copies of TP53, a gene involved in responding to DNA damage. In studies, elephant cells show strong responses when their DNA is damaged. Bowhead whales, which can live over 200 years, have genome signals pointing toward changes in DNA repair, cell cycle control, cancer-related pathways, and aging biology. And across species, one study found that the rate at which telomeres shorten can predict lifespan better than the starting length of those telomeres. None of this is one secret switch. It is not, ah yes, the whale gene, put it in a smoothie. It is a repair department. A messy, expensive, species-specific repair department. Different animals solve different parts of the problem in different ways. Some reduce risk from the outside. Some slow growth and reproduction. Some armor up. Some fly away. Some hide underground. Some live cold and slow. Some evolve stronger cancer defenses. Some tune cellular maintenance differently. And most use a combination. That is why animal lifespans are so different. They are not rankings from bad design to good design. A mouse is not a failed whale. A shark is not a successful mouse with better scheduling. A turtle is not a motivational speaker with a shell. They are different answers to the same evolutionary math problem. How much should this body spend on repair, given how likely it is to survive, reproduce, and make future years useful? This also explains why humans get so confused by the chart. We see a turtle and ask, what is the secret? We see a shark and ask, can I borrow that? We see a whale and wonder if it knows something our gym app does not. But the animal is not holding a hack. It is living inside a whole ecological contract. Its predators, body size, temperature, reproduction, habitat, cancer defenses, repair systems, and evolutionary history are all written into the lifespan number. So the next time someone says lifespan is just body size, or heartbeats, or metabolism, remember the maintenance budget. The question is not simply, how long can this body last? The question is, was it worth building this body to keep repairing itself? And that is why a mouse, a bat, a turtle, a whale, and a shark can all look at the same lifespan dial and immediately break it. Your brain wants one clean answer. Evolution brought an invoice. Stay weirdly maintained.